The Wall Street Journal published a piece with this striking headline. Jeffrey Epstein's friends sent him bawdy letters for a 50th birthday album. One was from Donald Trump. Now, their friendship, you'll recall, went back decades. The article details a moment from 2003 and some of the letters that Epstein's one-time girlfriend and accomplice, Ghislaine Maxwell, gathered for a birthday tribute album. According to the Wall Street Journal, pages from the album are among documents examined by Justice Department officials who investigated Epstein and Maxwell. The paper, citing people who have reviewed the pages. Here's the passage about then-citizen Trump's letter. Quote, this is from the Wall Street Journal. The letter bearing Trump's name, which was reviewed by the Journal, is bawdy, like others in the album. It contains several lines of typewritten text framed by the outline of a naked woman, which appears to be hand-drawn with a heavy marker. A pair of small arcs denotes the woman's breasts, and the future president's signature is a squiggly Donald below her waist, mimicking pubic hair. The letter concludes, "Happy birthday, and may every day be another wonderful secret."
All right, folks, that is the latest bombshell update in the ongoing Trump-Epstein scandal. As most of you may know by now, the conservative Wall Street Journal, a sister publication of Fox News, published this bombshell article last night, which reveals a super creepy private letter that Trump wrote to now deceased sex trafficker Jeffrey Epstein, once a close friend of Trump's, in which they talk about the many things they have in common and how Trump wishes that every day of Epstein's life be another wonderful secret, which is really ominous and creepy when you consider that one of the many secrets that Epstein had that we're aware of is that he was a sex trafficker and child predator. But before we unpack all that, if you end up liking this video and you want to support the channel, please be sure to hit the like, subscribe, and alert bells before you go. All right, friends, this is the latest bombshell, like I said, in the ongoing Trump-Epstein saga, and there's a lot to unpack. In a separate video, we'll discuss Trump's reaction to this, as well as MAGA's reaction, but I think it's important to actually look at the article. And again, I want to emphasize this. This is not written by the New York Times or even the Washington Post. This is written by the conservative Wall Street Journal. Again, this is a sister publication of Fox News. They're both owned by Rupert Murdoch. They're both under the News Corp umbrella. This is a conservative right-wing stalwart. And they wrote and published this despite knowing that Donald Trump is president and he's pissed off and vengeful and wrathful. So you can bet your ass that they dotted their I's and crossed their T's when they went ahead and published this anyway. Keep all of that in mind. Let's dive in. Jeffrey Epstein's friends sent him bawdy letters for a 50th birthday album. One of them was from Donald Trump. It was Jeffrey Epstein's 50th birthday, and Ghislaine Maxwell was preparing a special gift to mark the occasion. She turned to Epstein's family and friends. One of them was Donald Trump. Maxwell collected letters from Trump and dozens of Epstein's other associates for a 2003 birthday album, according to documents reviewed by the Wall Street Journal. So again, to be clear, the Wall Street Journal reviewed these documents. Pages from the leather-bound album, assembled before Epstein was first arrested in 2006, are among the documents examined by Justice Department officials who investigated Epstein and Maxwell years ago, according to people who have reviewed the pages. It's unclear if any of the pages are part of the Trump administration's recent review. So the Wall Street Journal has seen the letter, they've seen the album, and they know from people who have seen the Justice Department's files that the letter and the album were reviewed during the initial investigation of Ghislaine Maxwell and Jeffrey Epstein. But they don't know if it was part of the recent Trump administration review, which set this whole thing off back earlier in July. Trump's past relationship with Epstein is at a sensitive moment. The Justice Department documents, the so-called Epstein files, and who or what is in them are at the center of a storm consuming the Trump administration. On Wednesday, after angry comments about how the files are a hoax created by Democrats, Trump lashed out at his own supporters for refusing to let the matter go. The letter bearing Trump's name, which was reviewed by the Journal, is bawdy. So again, I want to emphasize this. The Wall Street Journal has seen this letter. They may have a copy of the letter. I'm not sure, but they've reviewed it. Okay, again, they're not getting the second hand. Is bawdy, like others in the album. It contains several lines of typewritten text framed by the outline of a naked woman, which appears to be hand-drawn with a heavy marker. Trump is well known for using a heavy marker, I might remind you. A pair of small arcs denotes the woman's breasts, and the future president's signature is a squiggly Donald below her waist, mimicking pubic hair. The letter concludes, quote, "Happy birthday, and may every day be another wonderful secret." In an interview with the Journal Tuesday evening, Trump denied writing the letter or drawing the picture. Quote, "This is not me. This is a fake thing. It's a fake Wall Street Journal story," he said. Quote, "I never wrote a picture in my life. I don't draw pictures of women," he said. Quote, "It's not my language. It's not my words." He told the Journal he was preparing to file a lawsuit if it published the article. Quote, "I'm going to sue the Wall Street Journal just like I sued everyone else," he said. And again, we'll cover Trump's reaction in a separate video. I want to stay focused on the article itself. Allegations that Epstein had been sexually abusing girls became public in 2006, and he was arrested that year. Epstein died in 2019 in jail after he was arrested a second time and charged with a sex trafficking conspiracy. Justice Department officials didn't respond to requests for comment or address questions about whether the Trump page and other pages of the birthday album were part of the agency's recent documents review. The FBI declined to comment. The existence of the album and the contents of the birthday letters haven't been previously reported. The album had poems, photos, and greetings from business people, academics, Epstein's former girlfriends and childhood pals, according to documents reviewed by the Journal and people familiar with him. So again, the Journal has seen this directly. Among those who submitted letters were billionaire Leslie Wexner and attorney Alan Dershowitz. The album also contained a letter from now deceased Harvard economist, one of Jeffrey Epstein's report cards from Mark Twain Junior High School in Brooklyn, and a note from a former assistant that included an acrostic with Epstein's name. "Jeffrey, oh Jeffrey, everyone loves you. Fun in the sun. Fun just for fun. Remember, don't forget me soon. Epstein, you rock. You're the best." Epstein was Wexner's money manager at the time. The longtime leader of Victoria's Secret wrote a short message that said, quote, "I wanted to get you what you want, so here it is." After the text was a line drawing of what appeared to be a woman's breasts. Wexner declined to comment through a spokesman. Wexner's spokesman previously told the Journal that the retail mogul, quote, "severed all ties with Epstein in 2007 and never spoke with him again." Dershowitz's letter included a mock-up of a Vanity Unfair magazine cover with mock headlines, such as, quote, "Who was Jack the Ripper? Was it Jeffrey Epstein?" He joked that he had convinced the magazine to change the focus of an article from Epstein to Bill Clinton. Dershowitz, who represented Epstein after his first arrest, said, quote, "It's been a long time, and I don't recall the content of what I may have written." The book was put together by a New York City bookbinder, Herbert Whites, according to people who were involved in the process. Whites, who died in 2020, listed Epstein as a client on his website in 2003. It isn't clear how the letter with Trump's signature was prepared. Inside the outline of the naked woman was a typewritten note styled as an imaginary conversation between Trump and Epstein, written in the third person. And here it is. Quote, "Voiceover. There must be more to life than having everything," the note began. "Donald, yes there is, but I won't tell you what it is. Jeffrey, nor will I, since I also know what it is. Donald, we have certain things in common, Jeffrey." Jeffrey, "Yes we do, come to think of it." Donald, "Enigmas never age. Have you noticed that?" Jeffrey, "As a matter of fact, it was clear to me the last time I saw you." Donald, "A pal is a wonderful thing. Happy birthday, and may every day be another wonderful secret." Okay, so when he turned 50, Epstein was already wealthy from managing Wexner's fortune and was socializing with Trump, Clinton, and other powerful people. He often entertained at his Manhattan townhouse, Palm Beach, Florida home, and private Caribbean island. A spokesman for Clinton referred to a 2019 statement that former President Clinton had cut off more ties more than a decade before Epstein's second arrest and didn't know about Epstein's alleged crimes. Epstein and Trump spent time together in the 1990s and early 2000s and were photographed at social events, including with Maxwell and Melania Trump. A 1992 tape from the NBC archive shows Trump partying with Epstein at his Mar-a-Lago estate. Trump is seen pulling a woman toward him and patting her behind. Trump, along with others including Clinton, also appeared several times on flight logs for Epstein's private jet. A 2002 New York Magazine profile of Epstein quoted Trump, quote, "I've known Jeff for 15 years. Terrific guy," Trump said. Quote, "He's a lot of fun to be with. It's even said that he likes beautiful women as much as I do, and many of them are on the younger side. No doubt about it, Jeffrey enjoys his social life." Remember that last part? And many of them are on the younger side? Both men said that they subsequently had a falling out. Trump has said their friendship ended before Epstein pled guilty to procuring a minor for prostitution in 2008, served time in a Florida jail, and registered as a sex offender. When Epstein was arrested again in 2019, Trump said he hadn't talked to Epstein for about 15 years. Quote, I knew him like everybody in Palm Beach knew him, Trump said in the Oval Office at the time. Quote, I was not a fan of his, that I can tell you, which again contradicts the mountains of evidence to the contrary, including a 2002 New York Magazine quote. So again, Trump's an inveterate liar, as he almost always is on almost all topics, including Epstein, which means it would be stupid of us to give Trump the benefit of the doubt on Epstein. You should disregard anything he says about Epstein in a desperate attempt to cover his ass. Trump spokesman told the Journal in 2023 that Trump had banned Epstein from his Mar-a-Lago club at some point in the past without elaborating. Then it goes on to talk about Ghislaine Maxwell. Epstein's associations with Trump and many powerful people have well documented. There remain questions about what the FBI possesses about Epstein and his well-connected friends. In 2019, the FBI confiscated evidence from Epstein's properties in the U.S. Virgin Islands and New York. Earlier this week, after the Journal sought comment from the president about the letter, Trump told reporters at the White House that he believed some of the Epstein files were, quote, made up by former presidents Barack Obama and Joe Biden and former FBI Director James Comey. And then it goes on to regale basically the entire Epstein scandal from this year about the mismanagement of the Trump administration. But folks, there you have it. Okay, this super creepy private letter that Donald Trump wrote to Jeffrey Epstein talking about the things they have in common, the mysterious things they have in common, and wishing for every day of Epstein's life to be another wonderful secret. That's super sketch when we now know that the secrets that Epstein had, at least some of them, was the fact that he was a sex trafficker and child predator. There's a bombshell article coming from the conservative Wall Street Journal, a sister publication of Fox News. And we're going to cover various aspects of this in subsequent videos. But in the meantime, let me know what you think in the comments.